all the games with the ball reproduced, according to the folklorists, and it's not me that speak here, according to the folklorists, reproduced the struggle of the gods for the possession of the sun. All the games of chance and gambling derived from divinatory and oracular practice. So the spinning top and the chessboard, for instance, were instruments for divination, as you know. So, but an interesting play is a very interesting example of profanation. Something who was religious is now returned to a new and different use, which we call play, but it is a different use, free use of men. And the children, that's beautiful, the children are mostly the people in charge of this massive profanation of old lost religious ceremonies. But children can play not only, as you know, with the religious things, but also with things which come from the sphere of economy, of law, of war. Children play with whatever comes from other separated sphere, but they take it back to another use. That's a very beautiful and important example of profanation, because we have there a new dimension of use, the invention of a new dimension of use, which children and philosophers perhaps give to humanity. Because I think that it is a sort of use like this that Benjamin must have had in mind when in his essay on Kafka he writes that the law, that it is no longer applied but only studied, is the gate to justice. So he's evoking a figure where humanity plays with the law, does not apply it anymore. And this new usage is called study. That's a Jewish invention, that's Talmud, means to study, as you know. So, just as the religion that is no longer observed but played with opens the gate to use for children, so the powers of economics, law and politics, deactivated in that way, become the gate to a new happiness. Now, following Benjamin's wrote a very an incredible little text which was published posthumous called Capitalism as a Religion. I will not enter in this text, a very interesting text that Werner Hamaker has analyzed. I would just follow his suggestion, and we could say that capitalism in its present stage pushes to the extreme and generalizes the tendency to separation that was already present in religion. Where sacrifice once marked the passage from the profane to the sacred and vice versa, there now stands a single, multiform, ceaseless process of separation that assails everything, every place, every person, every human activity in order to divide it from itself. In its extreme form, the capitalist religion realizes the pure form of separation without anything left to separate. An absolute profanation without remainder now coincides with an equally vacuous and total consecration. Everything is done, produced, or lived, even the human body, even, of course, sexuality, even language, is now divided from itself and dislocated into a separate sphere that no longer defines any substantial division, sacred and profane, but in which all use becomes impossible. This sphere is consumption. Consumption is what results from the generalized impossibility of using in which we live. That which cannot be used is, as such, given over to consumption or to spectacular exhibition. Let's say to the supermarket with the capital S and to the museum with capital M. But this means also that perhaps it has become now impossible to profane, or better, that we must find now better ways in order to profane. If to profane means to return to common use of man that which has been separated into the sphere of the sacred or consumption or spectacle, we could say that the capitalist religion in its extreme phase or stage aims at creating something absolutely improfanable. That's the aim. Creating something absolutely improfanable, which can never be given back to use. So I have to stop here in order to respect our limit of time, only 45 minutes. Also because it would be impossible, so it would be too long to deal with this. Let me just say, in a kind of a semi-ironic, or better, semi-parodic, but finally serious statement, that the profanation of the improfanable is the political task of the coming generation.
So, but my point against you would be, this is the easy part. And we have done it.
Are you sure that it is easy?
Yeah, this criticism is the easy part, because Heidegger opened it to us. Also we know about Gestell. The question is, do we know about Ereignis? Do we know about technology? And that exactly what you said is our task. But we have to go and do the task, not leave it to the next generation. So my question, please, I know it was a time limitation, but here you are now hiding. He was indulging himself yesterday, but you are now hiding behind the time limitation. I want to know now a little bit more what you think, hints, traces. Certainly there cannot be a theory about it, but there can call to practices. How can this profanization be done? Also start, please, with your favorite enemy, with your mobile, or Italian mobile, which is a very special kind of mobile, because everybody has it and it's so cheap, you know, that is not even, there is no barrier to have one. And obviously you cannot stop the Italians to talk, no? Therefore you are too much German, not Italian, yeah? So there is really a very special case. How do you shut them up? Because that would be how to make them stop. This is the strategy of not strategy, is also much the practice of profanization of something which seems to be no longer transformable. But that is an illusion. You know, for Heidegger, the negative. You remember his seminar on technology. There is this one sentence in that the Ereignis is a negative of the Gestell. So it's a negative in the meaning of the photographic, of the film. So it's the same material element in it. It's not outside. So fighting the mobile, you can do within the mobile. It's not outside of the mobile. The shutting up has to be carried in the mobile. And there are ways, actually, to shut them up by having a little sender here which disturbs all their communication. And they cannot find anybody anywhere. I know why, because I have it here on my... Have you heard of this one thing, that you have the possibility...
If you have it, give it to me.
No. There is really one, you can find it in the internet, not for the mobile yet, but you can shut off at airports all the TVs there. Yeah. You have somebody found out all the codes these airports have, and for $50 you can buy this and make sure that the airports, they are not giving you the CNN and all this noise stuff, and everybody will be upset, and you sit there, where is my sacred, you are sacred. And I think the mobile, because that is just a technology in which you can easily have technological changes. So you have to find somebody who thinks it's a business, or somebody who is kind of a hacker, disturbs it out of fun. Okay, but what would be the hidden part, the not red part here of your profanization?